Hi, I'm Beata Bukowski with Fairway Independent Mortgage, and this is our weekly economic update. Economists expected 550,000 new jobs created in November, and unfortunately, only a disappointing 200,010 were reported. There were some positive revisions from the prior months, which added about 82,000, but still way off the expectations. Unemployment did drop from 4.6 to 4.2%. Completely different set of news in the private sector. According to ADP, which is the largest payroll company nationwide, they are reporting 534,000 jobs created in the private sector. Both goods producing as well as service providing sectors showed significant gains, with servicing contributing over 420,000 jobs. Jobless claims are moving in the right direction as well. There were 222,000 first-time filers last week, so the figure is less than the weeks prior, and actually it is the lowest reported in 50 years, but a bounce back may be expected. Continuing claims decreased by 107,000 to a total of 1.9 million recipients, for an overall total of 2.3 million people collecting unemployment benefits as it is right now. In housing news, again, phenomenal information coming from pending home sales, which measures contracts signed for existing homes. Those rose 7.5% in October, coming in above expectations. National Association of Realtors chief economist Lawrence Yun stated that solid buying is a testimony to strong demand, and National Association of Realtors economist Lawrence Yun stated this solid buying is a testament to demand still being relatively high, as it is occurring during a time when inventory is still marked low. Speaking of those inventories, active listings are at an all-time low as reported November 28th. 23% decrease in inventory comparing to November of 2020, and a whopping 42% decrease comparing to 2019. Even though December typically brings inventories down, less people interested in having showings scheduled over the holiday period, even taking that into consideration, there would be 100,000 fewer homes by the end of December. Obviously, low inventories are affecting the median home price, which was reported at $360,375. Remember, median is not average. Median is just simply in the middle of all sales that were concluded in the U.S. Case-Shiller Home Price Index shows that prices went up 1% in September for a total of 19.5% year over year. The Federal Housing Finance Agency that reports only increases or decreases on single-family properties showed an increase of 0.9% for a total of 17.7% year over year. With the news of the Omicron COVID variant and how this may affect U.S. economy, there is still volatility in the market present pretty much daily. The Fed chairman, Jerome Powell, has finally retired transitory when referring to inflation. He is finally saying that inflation is on the rise. Speaking of inflation, it is showing in October past the 6% mark, which is the highest in the last 3 decades. Yes, I reported to you that there is some very strongly thinking that we are headed into a double-digit inflation days, as we experienced, or some of us experienced, in the late 70s and early 80s. However, according to Ray Perryman, a market analyst, he says that those inflationary pressures look completely different than they did in 1970s. Why? Because inflationary pressures currently are a byproduct of necessary pandemic deficit spending and related supply chain shortages and bottlenecks, rather than, as he calls it, inflationary pressures being institutional Institutional, if for those of you that may remember, meant that a savings account, a simple savings account in the 70s or in the late 70s paid over 5.5% interest of return. That's not the case today, and we all know it. So we will be definitely on a lookout to make sure that we watch and report these inflationary measures to you on a regular basis. Why? Because inflation erodes the value of our mortgage bonds, or directly affects mortgage bonds, and those will then directly affect mortgage interest rates, which, by the way, have been on the rise. And right now, the 30-year fixed mortgage does report over 3% mark already. For any other news, please feel free to give me a call at 773-321-0008. Beata Bukowski, Fairway Independent Mortgage.